Assalamu alaikum. Yesterday there was a horrible terrorist attack in Ankara, Turkey, that killed numerous people. And today in the Ivory Coast, or known as Côte d'Ivoire, West African country, there was an attack that took place um, by Al Qaeda that killed 18 people there. And what I've noticed is not just with these attacks, the other attacks that have taken place in the Muslim world, is that we American Muslims aren't out having special prayer vigils or holding a number of prayer services regarding these attacks that take place. But what we did see is that when the horrible attack took place in Paris, we were ready to have prayer vigils and say "not in our name" and all of these types of things. And my problem with this is it isn't that we shouldn't show sympathy and mourn the loss of Parisian lives or even people in San Bernardino or other attacks that take place here in America, but the question then becomes, why don't we show the same concern when Muslim lives are taken or African lives are taken? But as American Muslims, we can mourn the lives of people in Paris, and I think that the answer is obvious, is that we are trying to look safe, and instead of commanding respect, we're seeking acceptance by the broader society. We want to look safe, and by the broader society, I mean primarily white Americans who are not Muslims. But then we also, question about how Muslim lives are devalued, when in fact we implicitly or passively devalue Muslim lives. We seem to want to mourn other people's lives or have these public demonstrations for people who aren't Muslims. When it comes to other Muslims who get killed, then we don't show the same amount of concern. And I can kind of like go for the argument a little bit in San Bernardino. Well, those were fellow Americans, which is true. But then we're not involved in mass mourning around the country when, like the mass shooting took place in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We see, a Muslim wasn't involved in that. It was a white American, Uber driver. So, we didn't feel like we had to look safe in front of the broader society or white folks. So, Muslims weren't going around mourning the bloody mass shooting that took place in Kalamazoo. So, if we want, to have Muslim life respected more, we need to start showing the importance of Muslim life. I'm not for all of this just mourning for the lives of folks halfway across the world just because they're European or white Americans. Show more solidarity with them than grieving over African lives being lost in the Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Cameroon, Muslims being killed in Turkey. من قتل الناس بغير نفس فسوف الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا. Killing an innocent person is like killing all of humankind. Like that's the spiritual standard. But I'm not trying to lift up certain lives over others, and we're not going to get real respect as a community if we are bending over backwards and trying to seek acceptance by people by putting on these shows of mourning people halfway across the world in Paris, but we can't mourn brothers and sisters in faith and humanity who are being killed even more in greater numbers than what took place in Paris, or for that matter, even in San Bernardino.